And so the timing with which we activate the body and with which we activate the arms becomes very, very important. When it's time to go, you go. If it's time to open the body, you open the body. It's dynamic. If it's time to draw the arms, you draw the arms. It's dynamic. But the timing matters. So it's really important to understand that it's not just how much effort that we're going to put into the rowing machine that matters. It's also how and when we put that effort in that matters. I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about how and when to use the arm draw, the activation of the arms during the drive of the rowing stroke. It's not uncommon for rowers, especially when they're going at full effort, to activate and engage with the arms earlier than is necessary and is beneficial. And that a lot of times ends up looking rowing strokes that look like this. You can see I'm activating the arms instantly off the front end of the rowing stroke. Now, that activation helps create a feeling that I'm doing more. And the reality is, yes, I'm doing more, but that more is not translating into better, more efficient, and faster speed on the machine. I think we can all agree the best that the arms can possibly do in the rowing stroke is to take the handle from the body to arms away, and from arms away to the body. That's it. That's the extent that the arms can contribute to the rowing motion. But what happens if you activate at the beginning of the rowing stroke is you have now created a situation in which the arms are responsible for being active over the entirety of the drive. Not just arms away to the body, but from the catch all the way to the finish. And the problem with that is that no matter how strong your arms are, they're not stronger than your legs and your core. The rowing stroke should be dominated by legs and body. The arms are there, especially at the front end of the rowing stroke, to hang off the handle. We start to lean, and then we can activate with the arms. We can create a ton of power just with the legs. Totally relaxed arms in that moment. It's not legs with bent arms, just legs hanging off that handle. And what this helps with is the efficiency of our rowing stroke, the durability of our rowing stroke, so we can take greater, more powerful strokes, but be able to repeat them over and over and over without tiring out as quickly as when we activate with the arm early off the front end of the rowing stroke. So, a drill that can be really helpful in promoting that nice relaxed arm hang through the majority of the rowing stroke until it's time to utilize the arms is legs only, followed by legs and body, followed by normal strokes. These drills are just as they sound. With the legs only, we achieve that body forward position, relaxed shoulders, sitting up, sitting forward, and all we're going to do is row with the legs. We want to make sure that our core is nice and strong so that the seat and the handle move together. Once we feel comfortable with this position, we can add the body swing. So it's press and open, press and open, generating a ton of power, not utilizing the arms at all for anything other than holding onto the handle and hanging off of it. Once we're comfortable here, we can go to normal strokes. So we want to think press and hang, and then lean and squeeze. Getting plenty of power and speed onto the rowing machine without being overly active with the upper body before is necessary, which is really only the end of the stroke. What I want you to consider is the heaviest and slowest that the machine, the fan on the machine, is moving is around the front end of the stroke. And the fastest and lightest that the machine is, with the fan moving at its highest speed, is at the finish. What creates that is acceleration on the drive, and what creates that little bit of a heavier feel is that as we return to the front end, the fan is starting to slow down, slow down, slow down. We pick it up and accelerate it, and it starts to slow down, slow down, slow down. So around the front end of the rowing stroke, we want to be sure that we are engaging that part of the stroke with the strongest muscle group. And that is why we arrive at the front end, sitting up, sitting forward, really strong in our core, arms outstretched like we're hanging off of a pull-up bar, and we utilize the legs to initially push. As we start to press, that fan speed is building. The load is becoming lighter. Now it's the right time to start adding the body, because it's a point of the rowing stroke where we can activate the body. Much like the arms, if we start too early with the arms, if we activate the body right off of the front end of the rowing stroke, it is heavy, it is cumbersome, it is extra work. So we want to think we're sitting forward, hanging off that handle as we use the legs to generate that initial power. Now it's lighter and a little faster. Now we can add the body, and now it's even lighter and faster. So now's the time to bring the arms through. So I'll show you what happens. This should come across visually. Show you what happens if we just activate everything too early off the front end. If we come into the front end and we just think legs, body, arms right off the front end of the stroke. It's gonna be heavy, it's gonna be slow, okay? And so that looks like this. Takes forever for the arms to reach the body. The body opens slowly off the legs, and all of this is because we're trying to address the heaviest part of the rowing stroke with all of our body parts, as opposed to the strongest parts. Now, let's look at this differently, and let's think about addressing throughout the drive, addressing that drive with the legs first, then legs and body and arms, and then arms as we come to the finish. And so the timing with which we activate the body and with which we activate the arms becomes very, very important. When it's time to go, you go. If it's time to open the body, you open the body. It's dynamic. If it's time to draw the arms, you draw the arms. It's dynamic. But the timing matters. So it's counterintuitive because there's a little bit of patience necessary until it's the go time. But once it's go time, we're very active. And so, again, what we don't want looks like this. And what we do want looks like this. So it's really important to understand that it's not just how much effort that we're going to put into the rowing machine that matters. It's also how and when we put that effort in that matters. When we activate the legs, when we activate the body, when we activate the arms, can make a big difference in how we accelerate each stroke. It can make a big difference in terms of how efficiently we do that, which in turn makes a difference in how much speed we're creating, how much power we're creating, and how much durability and efficiency we have on the back side of that, because we're only doing what is necessary to move the machine. If you fight the machine, it will win every single time. There will never be a time that you pull so hard on this machine that it gives up and things become easier. It is going to offer the same resistance to you every single stroke from now through forever. So we need to understand how to work within that system. We need to work within those physical parameters. So it's really about encouraging, accelerating the machine on, working with the machine, understanding that when we come into the front end, it'll be a little heavier, a little slower. Not a lot, but just a little bit. We want to meet the machine where it is, and then we want to add to it as it goes. You want to add to it as it goes. And that's not a violent motion, it's not a kicking, it's not an overpowering, it's not an overcoming sort of motion at the catch. It's connection, moving into and out of the front end at the speed the machine is moving, and then you add to it as it goes. That assessment of how fast the machine is moving happens like that. Far faster than I could possibly explain it. But that catch, when you come in and you feel it, that's a feeling moment. You are feeling it. You are not pressing into the connection. You are rolling into the connection and feeling that connection. There it is, and now you can take that stroke with you. So, this all goes back to where we started. If we come into the front end and we're grabbing with the arms and opening with the body early, we're really setting ourselves up for trouble. If, on the other hand, we do a nice job of arriving with good posture and good hang, and we hang off that handle and then activate the back and squeeze through, now we've created nice efficiency in what we're doing. Great power, great speed, great acceleration, great efficiency. Much more durability in our rowing stroke. If I were to ask you to jump up onto a pull-up bar and to hang off that pull-up bar, none of you would jump up there like this. Not a single one. And yet, a lot of us row that way. Instead, anybody who thinks, oh, I really want to hang off of this pull-up bar for as long as possible, is just going to lengthen their arm. Same thing in the rowing motion. You want that arm outstretched, hanging off the handle as you generate power with the legs and the body for as long as possible before it's time to draw the arms to the body. So really pay attention not only to how much power you're putting into the machine, but how and when you're activating different body parts, legs, body, arms, in the effort that you are applying to the machine. Not all effort's the same. The rowing machine doesn't reward you for hard work. It doesn't care. It has no feelings. It's not going to say, hey, John, great job. You worked so hard today. Here are some great splits. It's not how it works. It's not how it works at all. It's cold, it's calculated, and it is calculating how efficiently you are taking the power and inputting it into the machine. So understanding that it's heavier and slower, these are relative terms, around the front end of the stroke, and it's lighter and faster around the back end of the stroke due to acceleration through the drive. Having that understanding can help you dramatically improve your scores and improve your durability and ability to maintain speed for longer periods of time. It's not just effort. Very technical. If you found this discussion helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. There will be more videos for you soon.